Takeaway number one, never negotiate in writing. You can offer a carrot on a stick in writing, text, email, but never negotiate in writing. Carrot on a stick would be something like, hey, I think we have more options than I previously thought. Can you give me a call this afternoon? Something as simple as that will earn you a phone call. And if your prospect is serious and they're serious about buying your solution, and serious about buying your solution under the terms that they want, then they're going to take that phone call. Before first meetings, I recommend, hope all my reps do this, recommend they all do it, ask them all to do it, is to call every single person that's going to join that meeting and say, and if they don't answer, many of them don't answer, but, and we'll talk about what to do then, but call every single one and say, hey, I'm prepping this custom demonstration for the team tomorrow. Really excited to have you. Wanted to ask you a couple questions to make sure that we focus on your top priorities. And then when they don't answer, send them a text. Hey, Michelle from Procore. I'm the one leading your meeting tomorrow. I'm prepping for the meeting right now. Can you give me a call back? And maybe they call you back, maybe they don't. Quite honestly, they call me back a lot more than I would expect. And I think it's because it's about them and it's not vague. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't want to call somebody if I don't know what it's going to be about, even a friend. Like, I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want to do it. I don't want to wind up on the phone for a long time, especially with a stranger. But if I know someone's calling me to talk about something that I care about, that I'm trying to fix, that I have a problem with now, and I need a solution for it, I'll take that phone call.
The most common place this happens is when someone asks for price over email. A lot of times I'll ask a seller, I'm like, great, what do you want? Well, it's like, I want to deliver price live so that I can see their reaction live and negotiate with them live and all that stuff. I'm like, great. Now, why should they want to deliver price live?
Right.
Why should they want to hear price live? Because if you tell them, well, could I give you price live so I can see you like puke when I give you the quote? Obviously, that's not going to land. That's a seller-centric reason. The buyer-centric reason is, hey, there are a few different variables that impact the way that we price. And I would hate to give you something that isn't totally accurate. So can I buzz you around 3 p.m. later today just to like give you a sense of all the levers just so nothing's lost in translation? That's I want to make sure that we're taking care of you the right way. And the last pro tip.
And that's true. And it's just true. I mean, it's just true. I could toss out a number. It's probably not going to be right. So like, this is going to take longer, be harder. Let's get on the phone.
So what's the bad example?
I think part of it is we have to keep working the muscle of clicking the phone number and like actually dialing, even if people don't answer. Like in that good example, they hadn't answered the phone the entire evaluation. We thought they may not answer the phone on this either. And then they did because, you know, we gave them a good reason to. But I think when we get into a situation where we stop trying, then we just like are cutting off one leg when we're trying to win these deals. So we had a deal where there was a technical objection. And what we did is we got the email, we made one phone call. They didn't answer. So instead of trying to get a call, we sent over a really long email with like, hey, there's 3 options. You could do this, you could do this, you could do this. A ton of information in this email, screenshots, videos, like gave them all this information without having any reason to come back and talk to us. And the problem with that is, one, it's just not actually helpful. I'm not going to read that long of an email. And we sell to construction. They're on their phones. Like, crazy to think that they'd read that long of their email in the truck between job sites, like opening up their phone, whatever, doing that. They're definitely not doing that. And shocker, we never heard back from them. So like, that was it. We gave them a response. We thought they were going to pick 1, 2, or 3 option. They didn't. And of course they didn't. They were confused and probably like felt confused, felt overwhelmed, and backed away because of it. So what we should have done, what I think would have been the right move, is to say, completely understand where you're coming from on this. We've seen customers do one of 3 things. When's the best time to walk you through those 3 options? Me and my team could do today at 4, tomorrow at 8. That would have been, I think, the perfect response. And I think we would have gotten the deal done.
The piece about just picking up the phone and calling them is something that, it was a lesson that I had to learn when I was selling ERP systems to law firms, because we had this happen a lot also. And I was newer to sales when I first started selling a pretty complex solution to these law firms. And I would get emails like the one that your rep did, which would say, hey, you know, we need to understand how this is going to integrate with our document management system because the attorneys really depend on this. And I'm not sure how they're going to see all that information. And I was a pretty conscientious guy. I was a pretty good student in college. Like, I was very detail oriented. And I would write these emails that are like the length of the Declaration of Independence, where I'm like linking out to all of our support documentation and finding a case study from 3 years ago of someone who had the same document management system. And it was too much. And my manager, Tara, was like, Nick, like, what's going on? Why is this stuff taking so long? I'm like, I got to get the email right. And she's like, why don't you just call them? I'm like, yeah, but I don't have all the technical information. Like, I need to prepare all of this in the email. And she's like, do they need all the technical information, or do they just need to know that there's a couple different options available to them, and other customers have solved this? And I remember I got one of these emails, and I call the CIO of the law firm, and I'm like, hey, I saw your note about how we would integrate with World Docs. There's like 2 or 3 ways that you can do it. I can send you a link to some support information. I can set you up with somebody on my team. And he's like, no, that's good. I just need to know that, like, you can do it. And not only did it answer his question and give me a chance to talk with him, because on that call we scheduled the next demo, it also saved me like 2.5 hours of writing that massive, massive email. And so I wish I had known that more when I was a newer rep, because it would have saved me so much freaking time.
One of my managers who taught me everything was so clear on this. He would say, clarity and simplicity drives confidence. If someone asks you a yes or no question and you respond with a 5-minute monologue, that's confusing. But if someone asks you a yes or no question and you say, yes, we can do that,
Yeah.
and then stop, you're giving someone the opportunity to respond and go further in what they want to understand from you. If you say, yes, we can do that. And like Nick, your example is so perfect, because if you had just said, oh, yes, we can do that. We have a couple different customers doing that a couple different ways. Done talking. Like, that's the biggest thing as salespeople. We need to be done talking. We have to like put a cork in it like all the time. But it's like, if you just are done, then they'll tell you what they need to know.